For many people around the world, Iraq exists only through memory and headlines. War, conflict, politics, instability. But beyond those headlines is another reality entirely. A quieter reality rarely shown to the outside world. Because for millions of people, Iraq is not a news story. It is simply home. A place of family routines, work, schools, markets, traditions, and ordinary daily life continuing beneath global attention. This is Iraq. A country shaped by thousands of years of history. A land where ancient civilizations once flourished beside great rivers. And where modern life continues despite decades of upheaval and change. To understand Iraq today, you have to look beyond the image many people already carry in their minds. Because daily life here is far more layered, human, and complex than outsiders often realize. The first thing that surprises many visitors is how normal much of daily life feels. In cities like Baghdad, mornings begin like they do in countless cities around the world. Shops open. Tea is prepared. Traffic fills the roads. Children leave for school. Street vendors arrange fruit, bread, and spices outside small stores. People hurry to work. Conversations spill out from cafes. Life moves continuously. And despite the country's difficult recent history, there is still a strong rhythm to everyday routine. Family sits at the center of Iraqi society. Not symbolically. Practically. Multiple generations often remain closely connected. Parents, grandparents, cousins, and relatives play active roles in each other's lives. Family gatherings are frequent. Meals are shared. Decisions are discussed collectively. And support systems become especially important during economic or political uncertainty. This close family structure creates resilience. People rely heavily on one another emotionally and financially. Because in difficult environments, relationships matter even more. Hospitality is deeply embedded in Iraqi culture. Guests are welcomed warmly. Tea is almost always offered immediately. Meals are shared generously. Conversation matters. People often spend long periods sitting together talking about family, politics, football, work, or daily events. Social life is built around connection. Even simple visits can stretch for hours because relationships are valued more slowly and deeply. Food plays a central role in daily life. Meals are rich, flavorful, and highly social. Rice, flatbread, lamb, chicken, vegetables, stews, grilled meats. Cooking traditions vary by region, but eating together remains important everywhere. Tea is constant throughout the day. Strong, sweet, and shared in small glasses. Food is not rushed. Meals become moments of conversation and connection. Especially within families. One of Iraq's defining features is its history. This land was once part of ancient Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. The great rivers, the Tigris River and Euphrates River, still shape life today. Cities developed here thousands of years ago. Writing, trade, agriculture. Some of humanity's earliest civilizations emerged from this region. And that historical depth still affects national identity. People are deeply aware of living in a place connected to ancient history. At the same time, modern Iraq is highly diverse. Different ethnic and religious communities live across the country. Arab, Kurdish, Turkmen, Assyrian, Sunni, Shia, Christian communities and others. Languages and traditions shift depending on region. Food changes. Dialects change. Cultural customs vary widely. Iraq is often spoken about as if it were culturally uniform. But internally, it is extremely diverse. Life differs significantly depending on location. Urban centers feel busy and modern in many ways. Shopping malls, universities, restaurants, smartphones, social media, traffic congestion. Young people connected to global trends online. But rural areas move at a slower pace. Agriculture remains important. Traditional lifestyles remain stronger. Daily routines often revolve more directly around land, livestock, and local community. Young Iraqis live between tradition and modernity. Many want careers, stability, education, and opportunity. University education is highly valued. Social media exposes younger generations to global culture constantly. Fashion, music, technology, ideas. At the same time, family expectations and cultural traditions remain powerful influences. Young people often balance modern ambitions with traditional social structures. Despite years of instability, Iraq's cities remain full of life. Markets are especially important. Traditional souks still operate in many urban areas. The atmosphere is intense and energetic. Voices echo through narrow streets. Vendors call out prices. The smell of spices, grilled meat, coffee, and bread fills the air. Markets are not simply places to buy goods. They are social spaces. Places where people gather, talk, negotiate, and reconnect. Religion shapes daily life throughout much of Iraq. Mosques are central to many communities. Prayer structures the rhythm of the day. Religious holidays and traditions remain deeply important. Faith often provides stability and meaning during uncertain periods. At the same time, daily religious expression varies widely depending on region, family, and individual beliefs. Nature in Iraq is rarely shown internationally, yet the country contains surprisingly varied landscapes. Deserts stretch across western regions. Marshlands exist in the south. Palm trees line rivers. Mountains dominate parts of northern Iraq. Places like the Kurdistan region reveal green valleys and cooler climates that many outsiders never associate with Iraq at all. The environment changes dramatically depending on where you are. Technology and modern communication are deeply integrated into life now. Smartphones are everywhere. Young people use TikTok, Instagram, and messaging apps constantly. Online businesses are growing. Digital culture exists alongside very traditional social structures. This creates an interesting contrast. Ancient history mixed with fast-moving modern technology. Traditional hospitality existing beside global internet culture. But daily life is still shaped heavily by economic and political realities. Infrastructure challenges exist. Power cuts still affect some areas. Unemployment remains a concern for many young people. Political frustration is common. Many Iraqis speak openly about wanting stability, opportunity, and less corruption. Years of conflict have left visible and invisible scars across society. And yet daily life continues. Because people still need to work, study, raise children, build futures. One of the biggest misunderstandings outsiders have about Iraq is assuming people only exist in survival mode. But life contains much more than survival. People celebrate weddings, go to cafes, watch football matches, laugh with friends, study for exams, dream about careers, complain about traffic. Worry about bills. The ordinary parts of life still exist beneath extraordinary circumstances. So why do people stay? Why continue building lives here after so many difficult years? Because Iraq is more than its history of conflict. It is memory, identity, language, family, belonging. People remain deeply connected to place, to neighborhoods, to traditions, to relatives. Leaving is emotionally difficult for many even when opportunities elsewhere seem better. Living in Iraq means living with complexity. Hope mixed with frustration. Tradition mixed with modernity. History mixed with uncertainty. But it also means resilience, adaptation, and the determination to continue normal life even after long periods of instability. Iraq is not only what the world sees on television. It is millions of ordinary lives unfolding quietly every day. Families sharing meals beside the river. Students hurrying to class. Shopkeepers opening stores each morning. Children playing football in crowded streets. Life continuing beyond the headlines. This is Iraq. Not only the Iraq remembered through war and politics, but the Iraq lived from within. A country of history, hospitality, resilience, and daily life that the outside world rarely stops to notice.